Hello, young artist. Mrs. Kirk here. I'm so excited. We are going to start a stencil project today. This is a stencil. A stencil is a cutout from a piece of paper, but it's not the cutout itself. You can see that's gone, right? It's this part. And we're going to be playing around with our stencil in future parts. This is part one of our stencil project. Let's get started. I'm going to start by making a stencil. I need a piece of paper, something to draw with, and then I'm also going to need a pair of scissors to cut this out in a few minutes. Okay, I'm going to do the cat stencil that you just saw. There's actually an easy trick to this. Now, if you don't want to do the cat, of course you don't have to. You can do anything that you want. I'm going to start by folding over about, I don't know, a third or a quarter of my paper. You see that length or that width right there. It's not a whole lot. Okay, just fold it over. This is going to make our cat symmetrical, the same on both sides, right? That's how we're going to do it. So if you look at my original one, this is how I did it. You fold it over, and we're going to start by just drawing this part right here. Okay? So again, full piece of paper, fold over a little bit, and I'm going to draw with a marker just because I think it's easier to see on the camera, but of course you feel free to draw with a pencil so that you can make corrections as you go. All right, I'm going to begin with the head of my cat, so I just want to draw a line in like that. Remember, this is half of the head, right? I'm going to come back this far. So then for the ear, I'm going to draw a nice big cat ear. I'm going to draw a kitty face, bit of a body, tuck in for the lower portion of the body. And then I don't want to come to the bottom of my paper because I need to make a stencil. This is almost, ooh, that's going to be really narrow right there and kind of tricky. So I think what I'll do is bring it up like this, and I'm going to cut on that line, not on that one. Okay, so this is how we can fix little errors that we might make on here. And again, this is folded over. Let me grab my scissors and let's do this. Do 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 do. La 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 la. Ba 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 da 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 da. Okay, don't cut all the way through, guys. We're gonna need that edge. Be very, very careful. Careful, 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 careful. Turn your paper, not the scissors. Do-da, do-da. Turn your paper, not the scissors. La, 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 la. I think I want my cat's face to be a little wider. Wider. I'm gonna go like that. Come in for the neck. Again, I know my paper is totally upside down at this point. It's so much easier to turn your paper and not your scissors. Okay, so you see how I've kind of switched up where I'm cutting. Totally fine. It's not going to show. La 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 la. Okay, I'm not cutting on that line. That's what the X's mean, right? Oh, I wish somebody was here to tell me. And boop. Okay, this part, as cute as it is, we do not need right now. I'm just going to set it aside. Save it for later. This part looks fantastic. Look at that. A cute little kitty. Okay, of course, you can draw whatever you want for this. The goal is to make a stencil. But my kitty cat needs a tail. That's why, one reason why we did the little folded paper just on the edge. Now I've got room for a big curly tail. And the tail is going to be a separate piece, like this one ended up from an example that I tried out. It's going to end up being a separate piece. Almost looks like a question mark, doesn't it? What? I must ask you a question. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to put a little mark here. How wide shall the tail be? There we go. Do-do-do. That was fun. It was like riding a roller coaster. Here we go. I want to keep it nice and thick, a big poofy tail. Ha ha! That looks great. Okay, cap my marker, grab my scissors. Okay, this can be tricky. Take your time. Open your scissors. Put them inside the hole. And then remember, turn your paper, not the scissors. Turn your paper, not the scissors. If you get stuck and it starts to tear, go down to the other side. Turn your paper, not the scissors. Turn your paper, not the scissors. The thinner something is, the more challenging it is to cut out. So take your time, okay? I keep readjusting. I might fold it away, fold it back. I don't want to tear my kitty cat's tail. Then I'll have to tape it all back together again, and that's okay. But I'm trying to avoid that if I can help it. Hakuna Matata. It'll work out either way. Hakuna Matata. I can't wait to play with this stencil. We're gonna make something really fun and cool and great and awesome. Cause art is super fun. And we're not done. Hakuna Mateo. Okay, it's getting easier. The more I do, the easier it gets. Almost there, almost there. On the home stretch now. Don't rush, we've got it. Eee! And boo! There we go. Oh, awesome. Okay, check it out. Kitty cat stencil. I have the spare tail because I need it for this part later on. This is a different part of the project, okay? That's going to be fun. Don't lose those parts. Set them aside. Hang on to this. Our next video, step 2. Step 2 is the one to look for next, okay? Step 1 is finished. Step 2, we're going to make the background for the kitty cat. Step 2, let's go. Here we go. I hope you're ready for step 2. Okay, Mrs. Kirk here. I think I'm ready. I have got some paint, some water, a couple of brushes, paper towels, a thicker piece of paper for my background. If you have thicker paper, it'll hold the water and the paint a little bit better. And I also have 3 Crayola markers, and I specifically say Crayola because these are water-soluble markers and they can kind of turn into paint. So I'm going to show you how to use each of these so that you can choose which one will suit your background best. This background is going to be for our cat stencil. Okay, so what I need right now is I'm just going to move the paints out of the way because once my brushes get dirty with the paint, it's hard to clean them without soap and water. So I'm going to start with the markers and a thick brush, and I'm just setting everything else aside. And here's how this works, okay? My goal is for my cat stencil to be able to lay across this, and instead of just looking like plain paper down here, it's actually going to have a nice little background. I'll probably put him this way. No, I got the X there. No, this way will be good. So if I don't like the black line or anything like that that ends up on there, I can either thicken it and make it bolder, or I can cut it off. But I can decide that later. For now, I just want to do the background in the area, the main area where the cat's going to be. And it looks like mostly the right side. Okay, so I need to do the background up to about this point of the paper, and I'm just going to put a quick little pencil line there because I don't need to fill the whole paper if I don't want to. To do a paint look with markers, you start off by just coloring, okay? Just sort of color across. I'm using the wide part of the marker. I think that's just so much easier. And I'm going to start with red. I'm doing this fairly neat, fairly nice and neat. And I'm thinking about this is going to be the tail of the cat. So I want to make sure I'm adding enough in that area that it will show up. And then I think I'll be getting a little bit of the head of the cat. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to go a little further before I switch colors. This is how we're going to get some painterly look to this. A little further. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to switch over to orange and do same sort of thing. Did a little overlap there. Not too much. Don't want to mess up my marker. And notice it doesn't have to be super thick. If you can see the paper through, it's okay. It's okay. These are going to look like brush lines when we're done. I hope. Oh, this is a fun technique. Takes a minute though, doesn't it? Don't worry, be happy now. It takes a minute to draw, but that's okay. Don't worry, be happy. That's okay. Don't worry, be happy. We'll get it done anyway. And yellow. Whew, that's a bright yellow. Wowza. It's like the sun. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Yes, it does. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. Painting water. Just a little container that I use for my paint water. Not to be mistaken with, other kind of water. I don't know what that would be. Water to drink. Ooh, check it out. Check it out. So you see what happens when you add water to this is it turns into paint. Yay. Just what I wanted. And I want to blend this area. So I'm going to come down and go up and go down. I can even do more over here. Look how much paint from those markers is left on my brush. That's fantastic. Almost too much. I don't know. It's going to be a very bright cat, I have a feeling. Ooh. And what do we know about red, orange, and yellow? Why are they special? I know it. I can sense it. You guys are saying because they're the warm colors, Mrs. Kirk. Yes, they are. That is correct. They are the warm colors because they might make us feel warm or think of warm things or just kind of have a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling. Yep. So they're considered the warm colors. Look how much fun that is. Completely looks like watercolor paint and is totally just marker. Okay, I'm done. Rinse my brush. Remember those paper towels that I said I brought with me? Now's the time. Make sure my brush is clean and dry for the next round. Okay, so markers, that's one option for the background. Let's take a sneak peek at what it might look like. Oh, that might look really good. I don't want to lay it down yet because it's not dry, but look how beautiful. I love that way more than I even thought I would. So exciting. Okay, guys, so this dripped a little underneath. No worries. I'm going to wipe off my board and grab the paint. Okay, so next piece of paper. Hi, could you see me? Bending down to get my second piece of paper. That's just one piece. It's a nice thick piece of paper. That's why I had to feel it. For this one, I'm going to use blue and red. What happens when I mix blue and red together? What did you say? What did you say? What do you get when you mix blue and red? Violet! I am going to... Oh, look at that. Brand new. Use whatever paint you want. Or like I said, use the markers. Oh, goodness. I can't get the top off. Help. Send help. I'm going to make a mess with this little thing. I just know it. In the trash. Okay, here we go. Where do I want this? I think I'm going to do red at the bottom. Did you see what I just did there? I just took it straight out of the tube and just put a little blob. Yes, that is a totally fine artisty thing to do. Then put the cap back on so you don't accidentally lay on it. Squeeze it everywhere. Next, I'm going to put some blue. Another new one. How exciting is this? Boop. Okay. And again, do something like that. Okay, put the cap back on. I also brought with me some white paint because I was afraid that this might get a little bit dark when I mix it. So I'm going to try this. Let me just add a little white. Okay. Gonna record another clip for the next part. Stick around, it's gonna get so exciting. We're gonna blend this paint together and finish the second background. Time to mix it up. I have my painting water and my brush, and and I'm